God, it's cold. Oh, goodness gracious me. Hello, good evening, and bollocks. And can I just begin by saying that all of you wonderful people watching right at this moment, I hope you're safe, well, warm, and comfortable. There, that's kind of important, isn't it? Good evening, darlings, and a very warm welcome indeed to Tuesday Night Live. And we are going to spend the next hour in each other's company. We've been spending quite a few hours in each other's company lately, haven't we, darlings? But it's nothing less than a joy to be back here with you. I'm excited about the hour ahead. I'm cold. I am cold. It's it's a bit, oh God, huddle around the candles for warmth. Yeah, it's a bit nippy. And what was I saying? Yeah, we're going to hang out for an hour. We're going to wave away whatever day today is. Tuesday, isn't it? And we're going, oh God, it's that day again. I can't believe a week has gone by. Yeah, it's only 7 days since the last time I was saying, I can't believe we're approaching hump day. I can't believe it's Wednesday tomorrow. It's something to do with the fact that Monday's my day off. So I think that in my mind, Monday is like Saturday or Sunday, and I'm always gobsmacked when Wednesday comes around so bloody quickly. I always feel like a couple of days have been nicked from me in some weird way. But there we are. There we are. Well, there we are. And yeah, so what's going to happen tonight? Well, we're going to have a nice, cozy chat, no doubt. You can leave me a voice note on the community portable electric telephone. You get the Hedgehog of Truth is on hand should you wish to ask a Hedgehog of Truth question. Sean's box is going to get a damned good pounding. And there we are. There we are. I'd love to know how you've been coping with the weather, or if you've had weather to cope with. I'd love to know what you've been up to, especially if you've been out gallivanting in said weather, or indeed if you've just been sensibly tucking yourself up in the comfort of your own bungalows, keeping warm and out of trouble. And naturally, do I need to say it? We need to know what you've been eating, darlings. Breakfast, lunch, tea, dinner, tiffin, supper, you name it, we want to hear about it. So, what I will do now, darlings, is I will warm myself up with a nice cold glass of splosh, and then I will dive into your comments like a really divey thing. Sorry, I can't think of anything clever to say. Oh, and just again, before I start, let me just thank all of you for supporting the 649 live streams I've done in the last 72 hours. And thank you for supporting myself and Emma for Monday Night Live last night. And thank you to Emma and Matron for their efforts last night. There we are. I think that's all the thank yous done. Right. Your very good health, darlings. Bottoms up yours. Get stuffed. Oh, that's going to do it. I can feel it already. Because it's cold and I'm cold. Oh, God, that's nice. Isn't it nice just us being together again? Horizontal, just us. We met some nice new friends last night, didn't we? And we got some subscribers and whatnot. But it's quite. Hopefully, I love these quieter ones where it is just us. But I hope that just us grows. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully on a Monday when we do the vertical ones and we pick up some new friends, then hopefully they will become part of the inner scrotum and the inner scrotum will swell somewhat. I think that's what's happening, to be fair. Now then, have I got any voice notes to start off proceedings? Oh, I thought I did have. Hang on. Ah, yeah. Oh, pudding was got. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Yeah, this one is from today, darlings. Oh, that's a good plate full of food there. Let me have a look at that. Gosh.
Today, Mr. Boaty and the community, I'm having gammon, which is in the oven, followed by roast potatoes, Yorkshires, peas, and hopefully halibut for cake. And I will send a picture to Boaty with it later. And I'd like to thank Emma for last night. And I look forward to watch our Jason tonight, 11 o'clock sharp. And I hope everybody else is happy in the chat. Thank you very much. Mr. Parry from Porcelain Light in the World, over and out.
It wouldn't be a live stream, would it, without the dulcet tones of Mr. Paddy from Put Sunlight in the Will, which, I remind you, is the Leisure Peninsula. Right then, first Cabatharang tonight was Ian Hulley, who said, baby, it's cold outside. Let me welcome you in and warm yourself up with a nice hot ham toasty. I knew that was coming. Hope everyone is in good spirits and ready for more humours, gibberish, and pre-bedtime banter. And I hope so too. And another voice note has just flown in, darlings. Here we go.
Would you like to buy a Land Rover Freelander to help get through that snow? I sent you a message last night and you haven't seen it. That's on this insult Boaty. Yes. Are you afraid?
Oh, dear old Captain Mustard. Peter P joined us and said, good evening, Reverend Boaty Doodles and Pufflings. Good evening, Peter. Well, hello, boys, says Carol C. I'm ready for a bit of hot action, open brackets, food, close brackets, and any amount of pre-bed sleep banter. This is such a lovely, welcoming community Boaty has gathered. They're wonderful, aren't they? You are wonderful, and I love you to bits. Honestly, you are such a top-of-the-range community. I'd love to track each and every one of you down and tickle you until you wet yourselves. Rafa's just retired and lost. I have liked, says Carol. Anything to help Boaty, please consider liking and subscribing if you haven't already. That's very good. Steve Hogg says, I just saw Santa in a local shop. He was having a breakdown. I had to push him all the way home with no snow about. Oh, he was in a sledge. Paulie Galtieri is with us. Good evening, Boaty, one and all. Hope everyone had a good day. HW100 or HW Song or HW Cento is with us. Says good evening, Boaty. Lord Stiff Upper Lip is here. Hola, Boaty. I'm not going to make tonight, says Steve Cole. I'm knackered. Bollocks, says Simone. Oh, dear. Steve Cole says, I'm watching the stream while going to sleep. My cat may leave a few messages. Carol C. eventually got her food shopping delivered at 11 a.m. Everything she ordered was delivered, and that's a good job in the challenging weather conditions. The M11, the lovely MSAs, I need a poo, but somebody's taking ages in the bathroom. Ah, well, poacher turned gamekeeper. Hope everyone has had really fab days and are keeping warm. I'll see you when the snow's gone, says Steve Cole. Andrew Buttigieg joins us and welcomes everybody by name. Carol C says, Emma, hope you are soon let into the bathroom. It's been toasty here. It helped with the sun shining through the windows and warming up the bricks. Ah, made it, says Emma. Matron is with us. Good evening, all. Seen snow today for the first time. Andrew, we were thinking of you, says Steve. A fine evening, my favourite people, says DL, and a jolly good evening to you. Hello, Boaty and all in chat, says Trisha. It's not much warmer here, says Paulie. Hedgehog's had a busy day. He hasn't really, bless him. Hedgehog's just been chilling on the kitchen table where he lives now. I like to think that maybe he's a tad happier than he was in the caravan. You know, being in a warm home, being loved, not having slugs crawling all over him. I like to think that Hedgie's got a better life now. Bless him. I'm very fond of the little chap. Maybe I should start taking him to bed with me. That was a joke. I'm not weird. What was it Mustard called me? I don't think this was on a live stream. I don't think he was beasting me in public. I think this was in private chat. And he called me a narcissistic hedgehog abuser. Oh dear. You know, narcissistic, yeah, I'll hold my hands up to that one, but that hedgehog is unabused by my hand. All hedgehogs are unabused by my hand. I had a hedgehog come to my front door about 3 years ago, and I put food and drink out for it, and I thought I'd make it a pet, and he just buggered off. Little sod. Dinner, says Carol C, was a repeat of the Sunday roast, with enough beef left over to make a beef and broccoli Chinese recipe with noodles on Thursday. Ah. Pardon me if I'm sniffing a bit. It's been awfully cold tonight. I haven't been warm all night, darlings. The restaurant was bloody freezing. Might be a bit early to ask, says Skick, and good evening, Skick. But what would you like to happen in 2025? Meaning YouTube and your career. Thank you for the question, Skick. I would like the Airbnbs to be, I'd like them to happen in the first place. I would like them to be successful. And I would like YouTube to be a lot more successful because I was making a lot of films about the Airbnbs. I would like to, what else would I like to do? I would like to have road trips. I would like to have more community meetups. I would like to go to every single one of the Gulliver's resorts. I would like to go to Llandudno several times. And yeah, I would like all of that. I would like to do Snowdonia in the earlier months. I mean, I'd love to do Malta, but that's not going to happen. Maybe in, if we have a good year, maybe Malta could be the year after. But yeah, I mean, realistically, my hopes for next year revolve around the Airbnbs, producing some income so that I can survive without just debt increasing all the time, and I can have the heating turned up a little bit. I would like the Airbnbs to make my YouTube channel more popular and more profitable. And vice versa. I would like the YouTube channel to make the Airbnbs more popular and more profitable. And yeah, I would love to do more road trips, more days out, more overnights on a Monday night. I would dearly love the secret project that Emma and I are considering. I would love that to happen. And yeah, more community meetups. So that's it in terms of YouTube and career. On a very personal basis, there are other things that I would love to happen next year, but they're probably not suitable discussion for a community live stream. Safe, well, and warm, say 69. Not easy or cheap. Well, tell me about that. We're keeping each other warm, says Steve. And to a certain extent, that's true. Emma says, I had Boaty's noodles, including chicken and peppers, and it was as tasty as the man himself. Well, community snap, Emma, because I had my noodles for lunch as well, and they were bloody delicious, actually. I really enjoyed my noodles today. Oh, I did really enjoy them. And I'm not going to have them tomorrow as well, but I was very tempted. I stopped myself. I'm going to have something different tomorrow, but yeah, I'm getting into my noodles as much as you are. A group hug, says Andrew, but a geek to keep nice and toasty. Good evening, all, says Bad Books. Hellos. Peter P's asking Emma if she's been playing with her new device all day. Steve Colg is eating a Hawaiian pizza, and it's nearly midnight. It's a tad nippy here, Steve, says Andrew, who's in Australia, where it's not a tad nippy. Tad nippy miles. Paulie Galtieri says, Boaty, have you seen Mustard's Rover 75 estate? I think he will call it Kenneth, but I think Blanche Hunt is better. I've seen a few suggest it. I knew all about the estate. I've known it was coming for a while. So I hadn't actually seen it, but I knew all about it. I knew it was coming. So yeah, but yes, I did see the video. And yeah, what a great mustard mobile. It's a slight improvement on Fred the Shed, isn't it? So yeah, that was yeah, I'm pleased about that. I am pleased about that. It's a suitable vehicle for him for a short while until he gets bored with it, or somebody else wants to buy it, or whatever. Good content for the video, and you know, it's another car that could have gone the wrong way. That's going to have a bit of a more of a guaranteed future, so that's got to be good. Not at all, Peter, says Emma. What was in the video was all I did with it. I'm freezing, says Steekold. Woke up at 10 a.m, says Simone. Breakfast was a cuppa. Cheese on toast at 1 p.m. I'm loving the detail here. Excuse me. Oh. Cheese on toast at 1 p.m, chicken noodles at 5 p.m, and Simone has just had a jam sandwich. Vax Super Sniper says 69, and I think that's Emma's new thing. I feel a need to see the official Windy Bum vacuum cleaner, says Peter P. Well, there are two. I have a downstairs and an upstairs. The upstairs is a I can't remember the model name. It's Vax upright, and it was the world's lightest or something like that. And the downstairs one, I can't remember what the make is, but it's a big old upright and it's got a headlight. And I don't know about you, darlings, but I love a Hoover with a headlight. That I grew up in a house where the Hoover had a headlight, and my Hoover now has a headlight. It lives in here. I'll tell you what make it is. It is it's a Bissell 1800 watts. Power Force PET with a wide cleaning path. So there you go. I'll tell you the story of my Hoovers if you're remotely interested. That one was my mother's, and when she died, I adopted it and took it on. And the upstairs one, because that's a big old unit, it's a super big, powerful thing, designed for homes with pets. 1800 watts. I mean, that's more power than a City Rover, isn't it? But I was getting bored with having to lug that big old heavy thing up and down the stairs. So I don't want to admit this. I put a Facebook thing out saying, has anybody got a vacuum cleaner that they would be, that surplus to requirements that I think this was during COVID. And somebody said, yeah, I've got one you can have. It's got spare this, spare that. It's got new this, new that. And they left it outside of their house for me because that was in the pandemic and you weren't allowed within a mile of anybody else unless you were wearing a full hazmat suit. And yeah, that one lives upstairs by the side of the wardrobe in my boudoir. So there you go. I've got two, didn't pay for either of them. Is it possible, asks Captain Mustard, to enjoy anything by Ant and Dec with average or above intelligence? Well, you've written that really badly, Captain, because what you're asking there is it possible to enjoy anything by people called Ant and Dec who are of average or above average intelligence? Whereas what I think you wanted to ask was, is it possible for somebody of average or above average intelligence to enjoy anything by Ant and Dec? And I think what you've proved there is which side of the average or intelligence fence you fall on. Very badly written there indeed. I'm cozy in bed with a microwave teddy warming my feet, says Carol C. Oh, that sounds very nice. Captain Mustard, says Peter P. That would be an ecumenical matter. Bad Books has been working up north for a couple of days. Not a lot of snow around Teesside, stroke North Yorkshire. A fair bit at Leeds and Cranwell, stroke Sleaford. Now, all being well, darlings, I will be in Leeds on Thursday. With Captain Mustard, I believe, unless he's changed his mind. Hi, Captain, says Trisha, and the answer to your question is no, definitely not. Jimmy F500 is with us. To all of you, up yours. Well done, Jimmy, that's the spirit. Didn't do much except a few jobs around the house. No snow yet, but who knows what will happen in the week. Paulie Galtieri says Ant and Dec are men children. Andrew saying hello to Mr. Paddy. Johnny Morocco says evening floaty and a jolly good evening to you. 69 says the Wirral is the big cock next to Liverpool. It's also the Leisure Peninsula. What is the status of the snow? Asked Carol C. Gone, slushy, or turned into ice? Very much the latter. It is freezing here in the Peak. Properly freezing. It's really, really cold. The snow has not dissipated much. And what's left is very much ice. It's frozen solid. It's been treacherous out there tonight. Oh, now listen. There is a possibility that tomorrow's video is going to be a little bit clickbaity. So I just want to warn you, right? Now, the roads were bad here today. The main road, that has been gritted assiduously overnight, as some of you saw. So the main road, not a problem. Now, what I should have done was to go to work the way that I come home, around the main roads. The hang on a minute. Oh, I can't. Oh, I hate it when it does this. Okay, that's weird. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Linda. That's really sweet of you. There's a fridge magnet heading to me. I'm very excited about fridge magnets. I really am. Yeah, so what I should have done would have been to go to work the way that I come home, around the main roads. They would have been fine. There would have been no problem, except it would have taken forever. There would have been a lot of traffic. There are always traffic queues. That's why I hate going that way. It takes a hell of a long time. Coming home, it's different traffic levels. So it's not a problem coming home. But honestly, going to work that way, it takes twice as long because the traffic is horrendous. What I should have done today, given that obviously the lanes, the lanes that I go to work on. Now, obviously, they're not going to have been driven on much. They certainly won't have been gritted. So I should have left early and I should have gone around the main roads, right? I didn't. I had that struggle with myself, and I thought I was filming it and I thought I was doing really well and being really eloquent. Hadn't turned the camera on. Idiot. So the filming starts a bit later than it should have. And you miss the first bit where I decide which way to go. But I ended up going through the lanes, as I always end up doing every winter. I'm very stupid. Now then, whenever I do that, and whenever the weather conditions are like this, I see crashes. There will always be people who try and drive on the lanes and they fall off. They fall off the road. They run out of grip or they run out of talent. And sure enough, I was in the middle of quite a bad accident tonight. Now, there's a chance that I'm going to do a clickbait. I haven't decided yet, but there's a chance I'm going to do a clickbaity sort of title with a picture of a bit of the crash, probably something saying crashed. And it'll be something like, this is why it crashed. This is why you shouldn't try and drive on lanes. Or I should have gone around the main road. It might appear that I have had a crash. Don't worry, I haven't. I'm absolutely fine. I got to work in one piece. I got home in one piece. The roads were terrible. I filmed most of it. You will see that tomorrow. You will see not the crash itself, but you will see the aftermath of the crash. And you will see some beautiful, amazing scenery. I know what I'm doing on these lanes. I trust myself. I know what a Rover 25 is like on them. And I shouldn't have done it, but I didn't. But I knew I was going to, and I didn't have too many qualms. My fears are that the roads will be blocked by other people who don't know how to drive on them. Fortunately, this accident didn't block the road. They fell off the road and they headbutted a tree. It cut their bonnet in half. But if I do end up doing a title or a thumbnail like that, please don't worry. I haven't had an accident. I haven't been hurt or anything like that. It'll just be a little bit of clickbait to try and get a few more views, to try and get a little bit more ad revenue, to try and get a little bit more heating on, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? I'm kind of with Carol Ann did a video about this, about the clickbait. And I don't think that her thumbnails count as clickbait because she puts a thumbnail on with her in a bikini, and in the video she's in a bikini. That's not clickbait. Now you can argue that other things. You can argue that it's I don't know, predicating on the fact that the average YouTube viewer is a male pervert. And you can say that it's, pulling in views by um, showing, well, however you want to say it, but it's not clickbait because it's not irrelevant to the content of the video. And I wouldn't do an out and out clickbait thumbnail or title. But if you want to get views, then it makes sense to use a thumbnail and a title that are more likely to attract views. So for example, if I end up doing a video tomorrow and the title is something like crash with a bit of a crash scene, and one title I thought of was I should have gone the main road instead of the lanes, something like that. Now, to me, that would not be clickbait because it was a silly decision to go through the lanes. So I really should have gone around the main road. And there really was a crash. And that really is video footage or a still of the video footage from the crash. But the obvious inference would be that I've had a crash. But I would still argue that's not clickbait because it's slight manipulation. Of course it is. But, YouTube is a busy, crowded marketplace. Now, you've got your loyals so if I put a video up that says nothing happened today, I had a poo and ate a sandwich, then a certain number of people will watch it because they're fabulous people who support me and watch everything that I do, which is very kind of them. I think there are about four of them. But, certain videos that if you put a certain title, like the one I did, middle-aged, alone, and battling depression. Right, I knew that was going to bring in more views than normal, and I knew it was going to earn more money than normal. Now, is that clickbait? I am middle-aged, I am alone, and I am battling depression. In that as we discovered when we talked about it, we all battle SAD to some degree or another. So, but then in the video, then I'm talking about seasonal affective disorder in quite a positive way, talking about how to battle it in quite a positive way, talking about how to mitigate it. And at the end of the video, I'm feeling very positive about life in general anyway. So you can argue that it's a bit misleading, but I don't honestly think it's clickbait because it's not unrelated to the content of the video. It is just slightly manipulative, but you have to be slightly manipulative unless you're on a massive channel with and even if you're a massive channel, you probably want to be more massive, and you don't want a video to get fewer views, you want it to get more views. So you're always going to manipulate your thumbnails and your titles in order to get better views. And for those of you with channels even smaller than mine who are trying to get somewhere, there's a lesson to learn. Don't go down the full clickbait route, but be manipulative. Absolutely. Think about what's going to attract views, what's going to get somebody to click when you create your thumbnail and when you create your title. For me, just keep it within the realms of what is reasonable. So go back to Carol Ann, right? If you know that you're gonna get 60,000 views as opposed to 5,000 views if you're in a bikini in the thumbnail, and bear in mind that would be the difference between earning 30 quid for that video and earning 600 quid, for example, what are you going to do if you've got any sense? You know, if you're in that bikini in the video and putting it on the thumbnail is going to earn you a load more subs, a load more money, and a load more everything else, what are you going to do? Seriously. So, oh, hello. We are being telephoned. Good evening, Mystery Sean.
I thought I'd switch in, and it's sounding like a YouTube talker.
Absolutely.
So,
I would welcome your input.
Well, I'm mentoring a 25-year-old YouTuber at the moment who wants to try and go full time.
Yeah.
And the first two videos that I gave him advice on had the biggest views that he's ever had, which is about 2,500.
Okay.
He then
you better mentor me as well.
We then had an argument over a thumbnail.
Okay.
And his words were, I prefer to do the thumbnails that I want to do because I feel they're more artistic than the ones that YouTube want. And at that point, I decided to back off because that sentence said to me, I know YouTube tell us to do certain things, but I'm going to ignore that.
Yeah.
So therefore, you aren't playing the game. And I think people forget that YouTube is a business.
Yes.
So I said to him, okay, that's fine. I'll just back off the advice. But what you're doing is you are now going to go into 12 years of doing it exactly the way that you want to do it.
Yeah.
And then you'll realize in the 13th year, let's play the game, and then the channel will suddenly take off, which is exactly what I found.
Yeah.
So
well,
I did see the video where she was cleaning the caravan.
Oh yeah.
And I quite like the way that she did that. So I came into this conversation when there was something about a crash. So you weren't in the crash, but you saw a crash.
Yes.
So I would still put something like snow causes crash or car crash in snow.
Yeah.
Because it's something that is something that we see in the video.
Yeah, absolutely. That was kind of my argument.
And it's like this 25-year-old, his latest YouTube thumbnail is I have an illness I've never told anybody about.
Okay.
That's the title. The thumbnail is I can't burp. So I said to him, oh, right, well, you've just saved me 25 minutes now. I don't have to watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas
that's daft.
The game is doing something that's interesting enough for people to go, bloody hell, what's going on there? I better press play.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what it's about.
So I did a video called, I think it was called something like Entire Family Killed in One Night. And it was about the Blitz and about how a bomb dropped and killed everybody in the street.
Right.
Now, that's a true story. And I was describing something that people were going, oh, what's that all about? So I went to make a video this afternoon. And I discovered that halfway through, the microphone came out.
Okay.
So I'm going to destroy that. But what came out of it is, I start to recall a story about a man that fell off a bridge and fell into the river and died. And it just so happened that the anniversary is about to come up in December from 150 years ago. So I've now thought, right, take that incident and just go and make a video about it's strange how you can walk down the street and in a previous time something happened here.
Yeah.
But now there's no memory of anybody in the village that could tell you, oh yes, I remember this incident. He came out of the pub, he drank too much, and he fell off the bridge, and then he got washed away for 3.5 miles and then died. So that's what the video is going to be. So I'm now thinking, what do I call it? So I'll probably go for something like fell off bridge and died. Because the other thing that I picked up on, if the thumbnails work better if you have 3 or 4 words, but no more than 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And this is a weird one that I've picked up on this year. How my thumbnails in the beginning were getting about 25 to 30,000 a hit, and then over the summer they went down to 15,000. And I realized there was something different in my thumbnails. And the first text was done in heavy, bold font. And then the ones in the summer were just done in bold font. Okay. So for the past few weeks, I've changed it back to heavy font so that the font is a bit thicker. And the views have gone back up.
See, now, on a related note, this is a really interesting thing as well, because I'm sure a lot of people with smaller YouTube channels, they think, well, once you reach a certain level of success, you're not going to have the same concerns or worries or thoughts that we've got when we're trying to get somewhere. But you do, don't you? I mean, now, I will wake up in the morning and I will obsess over my analytics and my views and my this and my that, because I'm trying to build a YouTube channel that will pay me a living wage. Now, you have a YouTube channel that now pays you a living wage, but that doesn't mean that you don't have exactly the same thoughts as me and the rest of us. Because if you have a video that underperforms, then by our standards, it might be massively successful, but to you, it's an unperforming video. And then you're going to think, oh my God, what's happening? Are my powers on the wane? Am I on a downward slope? And
yes, because I've seen how a friend of mine suddenly had fame after being on YouTube for 12 years, and the money was extremely good, so much so that he got pushed into the higher tax bracket.
Oh, okay.
And he was riding high for 18 months. And over the course of 6 weeks, everything crashed.
Really?
And now I'm getting better viewing figures than what he had at his sort of at the start of his. So I'm fully aware that, and this is the problem that I've got, I haven't been able to save up any money. But I'm fully aware it could all end tomorrow. So therefore, you work even harder. And you, like at the moment, I'm going to start filming my Christmas content on Saturday because I don't want to burn myself out. So I've already changed my house. My calendars have all been pulled down. My December calendars have gone up. I've got an Advent calendar coming tomorrow. And from Saturday morning in my house...
You're making a Christmas film set of your house in November?
Yes, because from Saturday morning in my house is going to be December the 1st.
Right. Okay.
So I've even been playing Christmas carols to myself for the past few days to get into the mood. But what's interesting is I'm not really into Christmas anyway. So my Vlogmas is not going to be a traditional. It's just going to be what I get up to. So I can tell you the first 17 days because I've planned it. I've planned it that well.
Bloody hell. Okay.
But there's a bit of a twist in the story, which I'm surprised that I haven't told anybody about. But you'll find out on December the 8th.
Okay. Let me ask you a question as I've got you. Right. When was it easier? Was it easier when the channel wasn't doing so well? So you didn't have the pressure. You were just trying to get there, but you didn't have the fear of anything going away. But obviously you weren't financially so well off. Or is it easier now when you've got a better income and you've got more success from the channel, but then you've got the pressure of keeping that going and the fear of losing it?
The position I found myself in now is I have so many direct debits and paying for things each month. It's more stressful now.
Really?
Because I'm investing in a new computer that's turning up tomorrow, but that's going to be paid on a monthly basis. So there's far more to lose now. I think once you get to about 100,000, or you're getting 50,000 views per video, I would imagine it starts to ease off, because you're in such a comfortable position that the money's just silly.
Right.
Silly in a good way, like 10 grand a month or something.
Yeah.
I think at that point you could then sort of ease off a bit. But at the moment, I have found myself doing 4 videos a week, which I never intended to do. But I can't stop doing 4 videos a week now, because I need that income in order to cover everything else.
Well, that's the other thing, isn't it? That that's my problem. Give me any level of means that you care to name, and I'll probably try and live beyond them. But
well, yeah. I was supposed to have 2 weeks off in December, and now all of a sudden I'm doing a video every single day. And even though Vlogmas is up to the 25th, I know I'm probably going to go up to the 28th. So then I'm thinking, well, I might as well just do a whole month.
Do the whole month, yeah.
And then at the moment I'm thinking I'll then have 2 weeks off in January. But the reality is probably by January the 4th I'll be filming, because it is such a part of the day now I can't get out of the cycle.
Do you enjoy it still?
It is more like a job. It's more like a job this year than it ever has been.
Yeah.
But the thing that I've learned this year is that if you can film a week in advance, then you don't care about the comments. In the regard of, if somebody, like I was criticized last Saturday because I hadn't finished putting the felt on my shed.
Right.
It's a lot more easier to get caught up in your head at the frustration of people saying, oh, you haven't done this and you haven't done that. And it's like, if you watch the video, I clearly say that I'm exhausted. And if I carry on, it's a possibility I could have fallen off the ladder. But when I first came to Wales, I had filmed the first 2 weeks in 24 hours because there was so much to say.
Right.
Now I'm finding I've slightly used everything that's in my head. So now it's a bit more difficult. So if I just film my daily life, then that's a lot easier.
Well, it's still working.
You know.
And before you disappear, let me borrow Skik's question for you. What are your hopes or ambitions or aspirations in terms of career and YouTube for 2025?
I'm not quite sure. I would like to get a car in order to get out and about more, to film more.
Yeah.
Because we've had a bit of snow, but the problem was by the time I got out, the snow at halfway up the mountain had already gone.
Oh, okay.
And I started thinking today, if I had a car, I would have driven up to the top of the mountain and done a video. So I'm now starting to see the benefit of investing in a car and getting that bit sorted, because I'm aware that people have sat through to 2024 of people. People have sat through 2024 of watching me build a life and everyday activities. Are they still going to be invested for another year, which is going to be more or less the same content, but with different weather?
Yeah.
So I feel I need to get a car now in order to get out and about and go to Aberystwyth or show people different things. So I think that at the stage that I am, it's getting slightly harder again.
We talked about this in the pub, didn't we? That the idea of at some point kind of taking it to the next level, and rather than your life being centered around the village, then the radius expands a little bit. I mean, there's so much room for maneuver there, so many opportunities. And
because I'm aware that this month, so every month I do a video where I put together all the footage from the homestead. I didn't realize how much time I've spent down there this month, but at the moment the video is 4.5 hours long.
Bloody hell.
And I never want my channel to go back to a gardening channel because that didn't work.
No.
And what I've learned this year is the more general you can be, the more successful your channel will be.
Yeah.
So rather than saying, I don't know, this is a guide on how to plant potatoes, only people that are into gardening are going to watch that. And then the people that are into gardening, it's only the people that are into growing their own veg that are going to watch that.
Yeah.
So you're niching down a bit. You're niching down a bit too much. Whereas I did a video called "The Cost of Living," where I was talking about my bills.
I remember that.
And how on earth was I going to pay for a £450 gas bill?
Yeah.
And the video made enough money to pay for the gas bill.
That was the irony, wasn't it? I remember that so well.
So it's all about making videos that appeal to the masses. So I know it's just I can't get off my ass to go and film it. But I'll probably do it in the next few weeks because I'll be desperate for content. I wanted to do a video called "How much does it cost to live alone?" Because I think that appeals to people that live in shared houses and they want to move out and get their own place.
Yeah.
People who are in a relationship and might want to get out of a relationship.
Well, you've just described you and me.
Yeah. People who maybe their partner's just died and they're thinking, how on earth, So therefore the appeal is far wider. So more people are going to tune into it.
That would totally work.
Rather than doing a video called "The Day I Went Over the Ricos Mountain." Who's interested in that if they live in Australia?
Yeah, there is that. I mean, I was interested to know if it had opened up again, but
I did have to laugh this morning though. I turned on the news, Sky News, and they were coming from the Peak District and showing the snow.
Really?
And I thought it would be hilarious if all of a sudden that you were in the background.
That would have been cool.
So I did tune in for a bit.
I can't believe their people didn't call my people. I could have done a quick piece to camera for them.
I heard you're a bit too expensive and they couldn't afford it. But it's strange to think that when I started off in TV land, the first camera I bought was £8,500.
Bloody hell.
My first tripod was about £1,000. And in order to get into TV, you had to have all these degrees from under the sun. So I went and did that. I bought all the equipment, spent hundreds of thousands on all the equipment. And now these days you can do it with your phone, put it online and get better figures than the BBC or ITV together.
It's mad, isn't it? It's absolutely mad. All you need is a bloody iPhone and not even an up-to-date iPhone. Until very recently, I was doing everything on an iPhone 6.
Well, I saw a presentation on YouTube. So I'm part of the YouTube Futures program, where every few months they'll say to you, for £100, can you do a research chat for like an hour? So you've got to sign these confidentiality agreements, and they show you what's coming down the line.
Oh, okay.
And they've said, and I'm allowed to say this because this was part of an open forum thing, they think 2025 is going to be the year of the expert in a chosen field. So, like for you, it could be the expert of cars. And it's going to be just normal people filming everyday life.
That's what I think. That's what I think it's going.
Their feedback, their prediction was that the world is changing so fast, people want to get away and they just want to see everyday life.
Yeah.
And if the war does kick off, because I had a discussion with somebody yesterday, and we were saying, right, if World War III kicks off, where are we positioning ourselves within the YouTube community? So I would obviously go down more on grow your own food, to be a bit more self-sufficient. So we'll have to see what 2025 will bring.
Indeed. I'm losing my comments, Sean, so I'm going to have to whiz back to them. Yeah. They're disappearing off the thing, but I'll catch you soon. We'll have a proper catch up.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Sorry about that, darling. I find Sean fascinating, absolutely fascinating. So I enjoyed chatting with him and listening to him and whatnot. I will get back to your comments now because time's marching on. Somebody was oh God, I'm going to have to do a really quick one. They're disappearing again. Somebody was asking about the to let sign on the side of the restaurant. That relates to upstairs, and that was put there months and months and months ago when it was for rent, before it was deemed unrentable, and they just never took it down. It doesn't relate to anything. It's just there we are. Right. People are under duvets. People are cold. I've missed comments. I do apologize. I love talking to Sean, and I thought that was insightful. Many of you watch Sean's videos. You're getting some insight into there. I thought it was interesting for people who have channels, so I just went with it. So I'm just going to have to work with the comments that I've got. Let's start with staying alive for 2025. That'll be a big help, says Jimmy at 500. It's going to be -4 overnight, says Ian, so I've invited the brass monkeys in. I had large pork pie for lunch and a mug of tea, says Paulie Galtieri. I want to talk more about what Sean was talking about, but it's too late. We'll have to pick up on it tomorrow. Boaty, at least a heartburn will keep you warm. You can't be optimistic with a misty optic. Oh, I like that. Hoover Senior's had the headlights, says 69. I think that's what Mum had. 1800. Wow, says Jimmy at 500. No, it's not a Kirby. Why do witches ride broomsticks? The vacuum cleaner's too heavy. Mine's got a light on it, says Johnny Morocco. It says Kirby. Wife says it's cracking. Yeah, and it cost a bloody fortune. A number plate for you, Floaty. BE11END. Any offers? No, don't fancy that. I don't fancy that. Oh dear. Steve Cogg's cats have nicked his hot water bottles again. It's 0 degrees outside, says Bad Books. Yeah, it's less than that here. That Bissell is not energy efficient, as vacuum cleaners now need to be under 1,000 watts to come into the government guidelines for decibel volume and have a rating that must be between A to G. I don't care. It works really well and it's got a headlight. A Clickbait video. I like broom, says Anne. Oh dear, that's an old joke. Vacuums suck. If you have ice outside your home, says Simone, sprinkle salt around, apart from the pink stuff that's too nice to throw on the ground. I did exactly that tonight. I threw a load of ice around. We live near the Wash, says Bad Books. RAF have practice bombing ranges, unusual nighttime fighter activity going on. Yeah, well, let's face it. Russia have just signed a new thing to threaten us all with nuclear war and World War III and all of that. Because Ukraine had the temerity to do to them what Russia have been doing to Ukraine for 1,000 days. And Russia don't like it, so they've signed a new thing, which means that they're telling the world that, look, keep doing this, we're going to nuke you. Yeah, well, our nukes are bigger than yours, matey. Oh, gosh. Time runs away with you, runs away with you. Chav, says Matron, is the Romany word for child. No idea how the word got hijacked to describe an urban feral in Burberry. Simone's getting memories of stigma. Wasn't Windsor Davis a good boy for starting after being laid up, says Jimmy F5? And yes, wasn't he just? And I'm just hoping that the weather improves enough so that I can clean him tomorrow, because he's gopping on the outside. He's lovely on the inside, but he's gopping on the outside, and I've got to take him up to Leeds on Thursday unless things change. And I hope they don't, because I'm excited about the car that's coming. I've been doing my research. I have owned one before, but not for a long time. And I wasn't enthusiastic about it when I owned it, if that makes sense. Drive according to conditions, says Mustard. It should be easy, really. Yeah, well, the crash evidence suggests that it's not. Bad over our end, says Johnny Morocco. Last night cars were stranded all over. Range Rover did the job, but an older one would have done it better. Mustard wonders if he should make videos in his pants to attract the ladies. I'd put a t-shirt on, mate. You're not exactly Mr. Universe above the waistline. No offense. Oh dear. Right, I'm going to start whizzing through these comments, darlings. Sorry, got carried away chatting to Sean, but I thought it would be of interest to you guys, so I went with it, and we will catch up on. Boaty, get a Borat job. You'd look fantastic in that green mankini thing he wears. Oh dear. Oh, Alan Simpson popped along. Greetings, honourable community. And woohoo, Black Boaty, bam a lamb. And Alan treated himself to a very healthy chip butty after curling tonight. I'm making Chinese chicken curry again tonight. I had it not last night, but the night before, and it was amazing, and I'm going to have it again. There was a channel I was sub to, says Andrew. It was about VW Beetles. Every thumbnail had his partner in it, very ample in the bosom department, but hardly ever in the videos. Ah, well, there you are, you see. I agree, Diane. I agree totally. Then we're talking about hoovering. Emma has also already started filming Vlogmas, and her first video is made, edited, thumbnailed, uploaded, and scheduled. Bloody hell, I'm well behind the curve, aren't I? And Emma's filming the second one tomorrow. Still whizzing through. Oh, you guys are happy talking amongst yourselves. While I was chatting to Sean, you lot are talking amongst yourselves. That's fine. Oh, and now we're discussing what car would be best for Sean. 450 quid for gas. I just shat my 90. That's how it was then. That's how it was at that point. Boaty's never going to catch up on all the comments. It's War and Peace. I'm not, and I'm not even going to try. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to whiz through the rest of the comments. If something jumps out, I'm going to read it. Otherwise, say your good night. I'm just going to bugger off. I'm going to get a shower. I'm going to get into my nice warm night clothes. I'm going to make myself a lovely supper. And then I'm going to get into bed, all warm and toasty and safe. That's what I'm going to do. And we can do it all over again tomorrow night, darlings, can't we? Oh dear. So yeah, it's 7 minutes past midnight. Start saying you good nights, and we'll have a proper catch up tomorrow. Again, so kind of hashtag sorry, not sorry, because I love talking short, and I genuinely thought that might be of interest to those who religiously follow his channel like I do, and also possibly useful to other wannabe or aspiring or growing YouTubers. So there you go. God knows I've done about 20 hours in the last 72. You can indulge me for a little while. Diddly-do, yakka yakka. Boaty, look at your portable electric device. I did see something out of the corner of my eye. Where did I see that then? Where was that? Is it there? Oh yeah, here we are.
Hello again, Boaty.
Hello.
Don't forget to pound your box, but doing it like you've just made love to it.
Okay, well, let's get that job done. Like I've just made love to it. God. What do you want me to do? Okay, right. I will pound the box as if I've just made love to it. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. Apologetic lovemaking, it's the way forward. Well, that's the box pounded, so that's that done. God almighty, how many? What is Sean's channel called? Thank you. Oh, and Matron helped out. Sean James Cameron, yeah. Can we go to sleep now, or do we cry? No, tonight you can pound your box, Boaty says Andrew. Tonight you can all go. There are no live streams tonight. I'm not pointing cameras anywhere. Very shortly, we can all bugger off and we can shower or eat or sleep or do whatever we want to do. And I won't trouble you again until 11 o'clock tomorrow night, apart from a little video coming out tomorrow that I would kind of like you to watch, really. Ian says good night. Emma's got plans. Any chance of phoning Furious Driving up? I don't have Matt's number, and I'm not sure he'd take my call. If he pounds the box like he's just made love to it, it just means he'll go and have a cigarette. Yes. Oh, dear. There we are. Right. I was going to say I've caught up with the comments, but I haven't. I've just ignored most of them. So apologies for that, but these things do happen. Right then, darlings, I am going to leave you all in peace, and I'm genuinely looking forward to just, I'll tell you exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go upstairs, have a quick hot shower, get into my gym jams, and then I'm going to come back downstairs. I'm going to finish my bottle of wine. I'm going to make Chinese chicken curry, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to watch a YouTube video from Matt, Furious Driving Matt. A YouTube video on the car that I will hopefully be bringing back here to Windy Bottom on Thursday. Not the exact car, but the same car. I'm just doing my bit of research on it, you know. So I've got something to talk about on the old video. Oh, right, yes. Now then, tomorrow is Wednesday. Now that means I will be doing Wednesday night live at 11 p.m. But Wednesday, you get Emma. You get Emma. Emma Lemon, EMMALEMONN. That's the name of the YouTube channel. And Emma will be live streaming tomorrow, 10 o'clock, 1 hour before me. She will be doing the good stuff before I just come along and entertain those of you who are drunk or can't sleep after watching the main bit of the show. So do support Emma. 10 o'clock tomorrow night on the Emma Lemon channel. If you're not subscribed, then, you know, quite frankly, you need your head looking at. She's rather good. Better than me, to be fair. And Emma's put the link up there for you. So there you are. Warm your gym jams in the microwave, Boaty. God, it could come to that. It's bloody freezing here. Thank you for watching today's video. Those of you that have, it's done quite good numbers. There's a video coming out tomorrow, which is probably worth watching because the scenery is amazing. It's the drive to work. There's a crash. There's beautiful scenery. There's jeopardy, all of that sort of stuff. And join me if you can tomorrow night, 11 o'clock. So, right, on that note, I am going to bugger off because I'm really looking forward to just getting comfortable, eating, and then getting into a lovely warm bed. It's been a cold, cold day today, darlings. And it's been quite a hard night. The drive was a bit dodgy. I've been cold tonight. It's all been, you know, it's just one of those nights where I'm looking forward to getting my stomach full and then getting snuggled up in bed. You know what I mean? And I think you do, because some of you are already there. Full tummies, snuggled up in bed, and God love you for it. So, have a safe and peaceful night. Please, I dearly wish that you were all safe, warm, and comfortable. Have the best day that you can tomorrow. Take any little bit of joy that you can from it, and take really good care of yourselves. And if you're fortunate enough to have people who love you or who you love, take really good care of them too. Emma's candle that she probably hasn't got, well, Emma will be on at 10 o'clock tomorrow. My candle will be relit 11 o'clock tomorrow night, Wednesday night live. Join me if you can. Much love from me. Thank you again all so much for all of your support over the last few days. I really, really, really appreciate it. And please do stay safe and do stay warm. Much love from me. And on that note, achoo! And indeed, first snow of the winter. Bosh!